about past time. So how are we going to express? How are we going to say activities? The activities in the past. And what is the structure? What is the structure of the simple past? The simple past. So when we talk about the activities in the past, okay, the activities, the event, the action in the past, we use simple past. So if we did the activity yesterday or last month, last year, or 2 days ago, so these are the activities that you did in the past. So past tense. Past tense, the form is, the structure is the subject. So use the subject plus the past form of the verb. The past form of the verb, D or ED. So we add ED or ED to regular verbs, for regular verbs. But for irregular verbs are verbs that that change its spelling. Sakot comes spelling. So for irregular past form. So you don't add D or ED for irregular verb. It changed its spelling. Like we have, I went to my friend's house yesterday. So I went to my friend's house yesterday. So you said a while ago that you went to your friend's house yesterday. I played Uno with my friends. Okay, I played Uno with my friends. My mom sent me to my friend's house by car. So we studied yesterday. So these are past tense. Okay, these are past tense. These are the activities that you did yesterday. So went is past tense of go. So go, went. Then you played Uno with your friends. So you add ed here. Your mom sent you to your friend's house. So send is the present, sent is the past. Then studied. So when you want to talk about the past, what you did yesterday, last night, last month, last year, last week, okay, the activities that were already done. So we use the past form, the past tense. So here, played and studied are called regular verbs. Okay, they are called regular verbs because you have just to add D or ed to a verb. Regular. Irregular, it is called irregular verb if you change the spelling of the verb. Change or not, because some of the verb you don't change the spelling of the verb. So for example, we have here go becomes went, send becomes sent. So these are examples of irregular verbs. So irregular verbs, you change or not the spelling of the verbs. And here we have examples. For example, Mary walked downtown yesterday. So Mary here is the subject. Mary here is the subject of the sentence, and walked is the verb. And this is the time, yesterday. I slept for 8 hours last night. So last night is the time. I is the subject. Slept is the verb. So the simple past is used to talk about activities or situations or actions that began and ended in the past. So for here, for example, this is the now time. Okay, this is the now time. Past, when you want to talk about the past, so this is the past. So it happened, you did the activity, you did the action in the past and ended. It also ended in the past. So Bob, another example is Bob stayed home. Bob is the subject, stayed is the verb, yesterday morning. This is the time that you stayed in or at Bob's home. Next is our plane. Our plane is the subject, arrived is the verb, on time last night. So last night is the time, the past time. Next, I ate breakfast. So I ate breakfast this morning. Okay, I ate breakfast this morning. So I is the subject, ate is the verb, this morning. So the activity happened in the past. So this morning, Sue took a taxi. Took is the past tense of take. Okay, take, took. So this is regular or irregular verb, Gao?
Regular.
Irregular, yes. This is an irregular verb, because it changed the, you changed the spelling of the verb. Also the eat and ate. This is also an example of irregular verb. Then, if you're going to use the be verbs was and were. Was and were is the are the past tense. Past tense of am is are. So past tense of is are. So we use was and were if it is a be verb. The simple past forms of be are was and were. So is are, be was and were. So we use was for singular subject, and I was. Then we use were for plural subjects, and you. So you is were. You we use were. I we use was. So that is for singular, no, simple past forms of be verbs, is are. So the singular, the simple past forms of is are was and were. So these are the structures. These are the structures of past tense. So when you want to talk again of the activities of your actions in the past, we use simple past tense. So here, the statement. So I went. We are going to use your I went to my friend's house yesterday. Okay. So that this is statement that you went to your friend's house yesterday. How about negative? Can you give like add, you just add did not or didn't. So didn't is I didn't or did not go to school yesterday. I did go to school yesterday. If it is a question, we use did at the beginning of the sentence, of the question. So did you study yesterday? Did you study yesterday? So did, then the base form. We don't use studied. We don't use studied here because we already have did here. Okay, because we use did here, we should use the base form of the verb, not studied. Okay, not studied. So it's not did you studied yesterday. So this one is wrong. Okay, because this is wrong because of this. So if you're going to use did is already past tense. This is already past tense. So this is base form, normal form of the verb. If it is a question in simple past. So did you eat breakfast this morning? Did you go to school yesterday? Did you go to your friend's house yesterday? Okay, so we use did in past, simple past question. Short answer is yes, I did, no, I didn't. So for yes, I did, or no, I didn't. So, or this is for just short answers. If you want to answer like no, did you go to school yesterday? No, I did not go. I didn't. No, I didn't go to school yesterday. No, I did not go to school yesterday. So we use didn't here and go. It's the base form. If your answer is yes, for example, yes, I went to school yesterday. So yes, I went to school yesterday. Yes, we don't have did. We don't have did here. So this is past tense. Your verb is past in past tense because there is no did. There is no did here. If you use did, you can like, yes, I did go to school yesterday. So again, we use the word did. So our main verb should be in base form. Yes, I did go to school yesterday. Yes, I went to school yesterday. So that is how we use did in the sentence with the main verb. And here the simple past in be verbs, simple past in be verbs. So that is the use of was and were. The use of was and were. So for example, we have here, I was, for example, I was in my friend's house. So we will use this one. I was in my friend's house yesterday. I was in my friend's house yesterday. Okay, we were in my friend's house yesterday. So only was and where, the be verbs. No other verb. No other verbs. Only the be verb. So I was in my friend's house yesterday. We were in my friend's house yesterday. Next is negative. So you just add not after your be verb. Wasn't or weren't. You have to say, I wasn't at school, was not at school yesterday. I wasn't at school yesterday. Or we weren't at school yesterday. So this is for negative statement. You just have to add not, wasn't, or weren't. Next is question. Question form. Was she, or was he, was I. So we use was. So was for singular subjects. Singular subject. So your was, then your subject. This is your subject, singular subject. Then this one. In class yesterday. Was I in class yesterday? Was she in class yesterday? Was he in class yesterday? Next is use of were. So were. This is plural subjects. Then your you. You can also use. You also use have you also you in you also have to use were. So were you in class yesterday, or were we in class yesterday? Were they in class yesterday? So if subject were Mary and Paul in class yesterday. So were Mary and Paul in class yesterday? So there are two people involved. There are two people. So it's more than one. So we use were. For short answers, you can say yes, she was, or no, you weren't. Okay. Yes, they were. No, she wasn't. Okay. No, she was not in the class. Yes, she was in the class yesterday. So these are the forms of simple past, be verbs. Okay, so let us answer this one here. Making a negative statement and making an affirmative or positive sentence. So for example here, Thomas Edison invented the telephone. So Thomas Edison didn't invent the telephone. Alex Graham Bell invented the telephone. So we are going to write a negative statement and a positive or affirmative statement. So this is positive, this is negative with not here. Okay, so are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so number 2. Negative statement.
I
So how are
didn't
you?
live in a
Yes.
tree.
I didn't live in a tree. I didn't live in a tree. So positive, make it an affirmative statement. So where
Uh,
did you?
I live in my home.
Yes, I lived in a house, or I live in my home. I live in a house. I didn't live in a tree. I lived in a house. Number 3.
I Didn't to a taxi
I
to
didn't.
school
Is it took? I didn't take.
take
Yes, it's present because of did. I didn't take a taxi to school today.
today.
Okay. So make it positive.
I go to school.
So I went.
I went to school with bus.
Okay, by bus. So I went to school by bus, or I took. So we use took. So I went to school by, I didn't take a taxi to school today. I took a bus to school today. So you go by bus every day. So today you took a bus. Okay. Or I went to school by bus today. Next, number 3. You're sitting on a sofa, comfortable sofa. So now, for example, now at this moment, you are sitting on a soft, comfortable sofa. Make a negative statement. Like it's present. This one is present times. Okay, present. So what are you going to, how are you going to say in present time? So now you are sitting on a soft, comfortable sofa. So make a negative statement. Like for example, we have, I am not, because this is present times. So I am not, present progressive. I am not sitting on a soft, comfortable, comfortable sofa. So where are you sitting right now?
I am sitting on a chair.
Okay. I'm sitting on, is it, what kind of chair? Wooden chair or plastic? Wooden,
Wooden
my
chair.
wooden. Okay, wooden, on a wooden chair. Okay, so I'm not sitting on a soft, comfortable sofa. I'm sitting on a wooden chair. So this is how you say, or say the sentence in present progressive. So present progressive, that is now, the moment that you are doing, the activity that you are doing right now. Next, our teacher wrote Romeo and Juliet. Who wrote Romeo and Juliet? Do you know who the author it was?
I don't know.
Okay. Romeo and Juliet, it was written by William Shakespeare. So Romeo and Juliet is written or was written by William Shakespeare. So your teacher wrote, here, our teacher wrote Romeo and Juliet. So can you make it a negative statement?
Teacher
Our
didn't
teacher,
write
okay,
Romeo and Juliet.
yes, our teacher didn't write Romeo and Juliet. Make it a positive.
Our teacher wrote Romeo and Juliet.
Okay, this is, but your teacher is not William Shakespeare, so you're going to change it into William, the author of William Shakespeare, of Romeo and Juliet. So William Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet, because William Shakespeare, he was the author, he was the writer of Romeo and Juliet. He is the writer. So next is, our teacher's name is William Shakespeare. So how are you going to write this in negative statement? So this one is present.
Our
Okay.
our teacher is not named.
Isn't
Isn't name is
William.
William.
Yes. Our teacher isn't, or is not, William Shakespeare. Okay. Is not. So it's in present form. Our is not negative. So make it into positive form.
Our teacher is name is Albert Einstein.
Okay. So if your teacher's name is Albert Einstein, so you can change it, like, our teacher isn't William Shakespeare. So you don't need to write the name, the word name. So our teacher is not William Shakespeare. Our teacher is Albert Einstein. So our teacher is, so you just write the be verb in present form. Next is number 7. So you were on a cruise ship in the Mediterranean Sea yesterday. So make it to negative form.
I
So how are you going to make be verb past tense, the past tense of be verb into negative form?
went. I
Is it weren't or I?
went.
Do we have to use weren't in I? If the subject is I, what be verb are we going to use?
I am not.
If past, I am not is in, am is present. So what
Wasn't.
if, yes, wasn't. So wasn't. So I wasn't on a cruise ship in the Mediterranean Sea yesterday. Make it positive. Where were you yesterday?
I was on a cruise ship in the Mediterranean Sea
So
last
this
week.
is positive. So I was last week. Yesterday, where were you? So you can say, like, I was at my friend's house yesterday. Okay. You were not on a cruise ship in the Mediterranean yesterday. So I wasn't on a cruise ship in the Mediterranean Sea yesterday. I was at my friend's house. I was at my friend's house yesterday. So I was at my friend's house yesterday because you were at your friend's house yesterday. Number 8. So number 8, is it present or past?
Present.
Yes, it's present. It's present because it is general truth. General truth. จริงๆความจริงทั่วไปความจริงทั่วไป that is general truth. This is general truth. General truth that rocks float and wood sinks. Rocks float and wood sinks. So this is a general truth. ความจริงทั่วไป. So how are you going to make it into negative statement?
Rock. I don't know.
Okay, rocks don't. Okay, so you have to use don't because rocks here is a plural subject. So if we make it into negative statement in present form, so this is present form because it is a general truth. And do not, don't float. Don't float. What do you mean by float? What is float in Thai?
Loi.
Yes, loi. And sink is?
In Thai.
Yes.
Sing. Jom.
Yes, so rocks don't float, and wood don't. Wood doesn't because wood here is singular, and wood doesn't sink. It is singular. Rocks don't float and wood doesn't sink. Can you make it into positive?
Rock sink and wood float.
Yes, wood floats because this is again, wood here is singular, so we put s. Singular form of the verb in present form or present tense. You have to add s or es to your verb. Okay, yeah, so rocks sink. Here, rocks is a plural subject, so we don't, our verb is also in plural form. Plural form doesn't have s or es. We don't add s or es to our verb if it is, if the subject is plural. Number 9, the teacher flew into the classroom today. Is it singular? Is it past tense or in present tense?
Present tense.
Present. Flew.
Flew. Past.
Yes, What is the present form of flew?
fly,
Fly, yes. The teacher flew into the classroom today. So this is past tense. So we are going to change it into negative statement in the past time. Okay, how are we going to change it into negative statement in past time?
the teacher didn't fly into